All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be your pop art project step by step. So at this point, you folks already have researched your background slash texture image, as well as your popular pop art image that you would like to use for the pop art project. Okay. First things first, you're gonna go ahead and open from computer because you already got your images, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get mine, which is gonna be the Mickey Mouse hands for the west side. Okay. The second step is you're gonna go ahead and go to File, New. Okay. We're gonna type your name, your first and last name here, and pop art project. Okay. So that being said, in this demonstration, I'm gonna go like this: Mr. Tamang pop art project. Okay. The second step is make sure you move this px into inches. And now you are going to size it by 4 with the width, 5 by the height. And your DPI, dots per inch, is always going to be 300 because we will be printing these out. Okay, again, for name, first and last name, pop art project, changes to inches, and it's going to be 4 width, height is going to be 5, and 300 DPI. Once you get that going, you're going to leave the background white and hit create. All right, the next step is now you have 2 tabs, right? And the next step is I'm going to go back to my image, which is Mickey Mouse hands, right? I am going to go ahead and hit Control A to select all. Okay, now it's highlighted. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit Control X on your keypad to cut it. Okay, I'm going to bring it to the other tab where it says Mr. T's Pop Art Project, and I'm going to hit Command V to paste. All right, as you folks see, it's not big enough for the square, right? So now I got to free transform it. So we're going to go ahead and go to Edit, Free Transform. You're going to hold down the Shift key on your keypad, and you are going to drag it by the corners. Hold down Shift and drag it all the way up, okay, until it fits everything. Okay, so that should be a good size. Then when you have your size correctly, go ahead and hit enter. All right, good job, folks. This is where you folks should be at. This is going to be one of your images now. All right, now since you have your image, make sure you place it where you want it. Okay, I am going to do this now. Next step is File, New. Okay, we're going to change this 8 by 10. Hit create. Awesome. Now we're going to go to our other image. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit Control A to select all. Hit Control X. Okay, then we're going to go to our final one, and I'm going to hit Control V. Okay, now we have one. Now what we want to do, we're going to start the editing process. We're going to go to the effects, do a color overlay. You're going to make sure it's multiple. Okay, you're going to hit OK again. All right, you're going to go ahead and drag it 3 more times. And make sure you label all of them, okay? So I'm going to say Mickey hands 1, Mickey hands 2, Mickey hands 3, and Mickey hands 4. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next one. I'm gonna go work on layer number 2. I'm gonna drag this over. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Effects, color overlay, multiple. Okay, I'm gonna double click on this. I want to make it a bright one now. Hit OK. Go ahead and hit OK. hit OK again. Then I'm going to go to the fourth one. I'm going to drag that down. Make sure it's all even. You're going to go to the EFF, which is the effects, color overlay. But this time I want to change it to maybe a lighten, you know. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and change this to the opposite. Hit OK. Now I'm going to go ahead to the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and effects, color overlay again, multiple. And now I am going to do another color that I haven't used yet. So hit OK. I'm going to make sure it's dragging down here. Okay, now that I have all of my images together, all right, maybe the red one I want to change just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and make sure I change the red one. Make sure I'm on the proper layer. I am going to change the effects, color overlay. I'm going to change this one, and maybe I will make it a very different color. So there we go. So now it's looking real pop art-ish. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and OK. All right, so I have my 4 different layers. All right, now what I want you folks to do now is you're gonna go ahead and go get your image of the background or texture. Okay, we're gonna go to File, Open. And remember folks, this is during your research part, right? You're gonna get your pop art image. You're also gonna get a cool background or a texture. Okay, and in this case I found a really cool rain droplet, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit Open. Okay, so this is going to be my background for the texture of my pop art. Okay, again, I'm going to do the same steps again. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control A, Control X on my keypad. I'm going to go to my final one, hit Control V. All right, as you can see, it's not as big, so we're going to go ahead and go to Edit, Free Transform. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, hold down the Shift key on my keypad. Make sure everything's going to be big. That way I don't distort the picture. Okay. You're going to go ahead and enter to where you want it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to move it to where you want it. Okay, I think that looks about good. You are going to go and change where it says normal on your layer of your background. And you are going to do multiply. Okay. Now you have a really cool image of that. All right, the next step here is you are going to go to Layer, Flatten Image. Okay, and now what you folks can do for the last couple of steps is you're going to go to Image, Adjustments, and you are going to go to Hue, Saturation, and you're going to move the hue up and down. Okay, now it's really doing that pop-up effect. Okay, and you could go ahead and choose all kind of different colors. You can move it around, but you choose the one that you like. All right, if you want to save different versions of it, feel free. Okay, so Mr. T is going to use probably this one. Okay, you could also move the lightness and the saturation. Most likely you're going to use the hue and saturation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and then you folks are going to go ahead and go to File, Save as PSD. Okay, again, and if you don't like that final project, you could just go to Image again, Adjustments, go to Hue, Saturation, and then change it again. Okay, so if you want to make it different colors, you're going to use mostly the hue. And saturation. Okay, that being said, go ahead folks, be creative, have fun, get some cool textures and backgrounds, and this is your first project for this quarter, the pop art project. All right, let's go.